of March 2020. We get plenty of topics to talk about tonight, and I got a full house with me tonight. I get my usual guest team and other people going on join me for we discuss most important issue in our Conteh Salone. Tonight I get Mr. Mohamed Kutubukroma with me, Ms. Matilda Cole, Mr. Dr. Aliu Iskandri, Mr. John Conteh, and also Auntie Janet Matamusa, the journey from the UK. Tonight we want to talk about the handing over of the notes, the white paper we didn't give the president yesterday. We want to talk about the speech system we didn't give and waiting on our own take about the handing over notes. And also, as soon as some of them on social media and in the back home, we didn't know about the legal system. The Mr. Paolo Conteh and lawyer say they don't charge them with treason. So we want to talk about them issues and this. So the question we want to ask people today is we want to ask us your opinion about the charges we then say Mr. Paolo guilty of treason. So again, we get a legal mind with we, and also we regular commentators a lot we talk about them because this is not a Salone issue. So tonight I go on for start with the young lady, Miss Matilda Cole. I want to know what you want to take about when you see the tweet yesterday. What's you want to take? What you first week on your mind?
When I see actually fumble them una good evening and una kushe for join we like I say I do first. Listen, when I see the tweet yesterday, I sure say just like a lot of Sierra Leoneans, I was baffled, I was confused, I was left with unanswered questions. I had so many questions. I mean, there's so many questions then for where they trigger, where they kind of in mind. You know, I mean, me not study law that deeply, but for the few courses that were taking law, I started asking myself certain questions. And within that tweet and within everything we all unfold last week, I still cannot come to an answer.
Oh, well, thank you very much. So, Mr. Kutubu, I'll come to you next because I know say now we more the short days here to talk about this issue. And you know, one person way from day one, you may feel say this is called for. I think say you say you even talk about that issue there. So, what thing are you want to think about that way in lawyer don't come out now? Mr. Macaulay say, well, he's not going to talk to Paolo now, but then by holding and then now before I said they can't talk and say the charge with easy.
Well, I really go on for defer to my colleagues then. At a point in time I will come in.
Sorry?
I go on defer to my colleagues then. At a point in time I will come in.
Okay, well, Mr. Combet, now you take on that.
Well, yesterday he said then charges and they for me, I'll be actually shocked because I don't mean to say it will be escalated to that level there, considering the information that will be get. Some people then say he hand over and gone to the securities and before making acts, before going through. Then other one then say, oh, it not be hand over. So then conflicting information and they are not be even believe say then go charge them with tweeting and then charge them. But I will stop that for now and I'll come in later. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And also again, Auntie Janet on the phone from the UK because I try to go around for before we come to Mr. Iskandri and get the legal mind so he will tell you exactly what now you want to take. But I'll get to Auntie Janet, also somebody where you know he's a lawyer and what's now you want to take on that? What's now you how you perceive her?
Well, you know, based on the facts that we already get. And within CIDC and within Ms. Paolo Conteh family, they say we read waiting and say and everything. And Paolo in your position we express for say he left and gone to the security them he declare before he enter, you know. And then we are other side say and say that the metal detectors and they make a handover and gone. And anyway, let's get cut straight to the chase now. You know, to say that this particular charge when they bring against the man, a charge of treason, me facing a foolishness. You know, I mean, we charge somebody first of all, they say carrying unlawful, then charge her with carrying a gun when they say it's unlawful with ammunition and all of that, he has a license, a valid license. So no side charge they come out, you know, and then you talk about conspiracy. I mean, even as a lay person, the word conspiracy, you get for have another person to conspire with. You must be in agreement to commit an offense. So we don't know, you know, side and pull all the wire. But you know, like you said today, it's going to be short, sharp, to the point. I feel a nonsense conversation. Let's go straight to at least we will give you a better insight into what you feel to say they're happening inside Salone.
Oh, well, thank you very much. So let me come to Mr. Scandy. Since now you get a legal mind above we all know, yeah? And we bring you into the go with educate with the Salone people, because you know, so we quick for jump to go on. Right now, most of we na party bagu popo. So every to the see on two party lens, but so they are kind of for tell we to the legal lens, sir. What now you want to take?
So waiting again for say, I come from about 13 years of teaching criminal defense law to law students. The crime of conspiracy, by its definition, requires more than one person. Now, under English law, you can be charged with conspiracy with unknown persons. But there's one thing you have to prove. You have to prove that there was an agreement between the person charged and either persons known or unknown. I don't think this government can prove that based on the facts that we have heard so far. Now, I have said this. In the United States, when a case goes up to be charged for an indictment, you get a charging district attorney, just like we didn't get a state attorney in Sierra Leone. We in your job now for look through the statutes and see whether you can bring an appropriate charge against this person. Now, it is my opinion that if Paolo should be charged for anything, he should be charged for stupidity. But I don't think that's a crime. Because let me explain why. Paolo now is antagonistic to this government because that's the politics that we play in Sierra Leone. If you are APC, when SLPP is in power, you are the enemy. If you are SLPP, when APC is in power, you are the enemy. So we they try to get away from that paradigm. Yeah. So here's what I see. Paolo gets to a point where he believes he get for carrying gun. Now, Paolo don't work in a state house before. He was Minister of Defense. He was Minister of Internal Affairs. He was head of the Ebola Relief Unit. He's a frequent visitor to State House. And he knows one thing that's a key, that where you are within the confines of where the president is, the head of the nation is, that you cannot carry a weapon there unless you are authorized, as in the president's bodyguards. So what Paolo did was he took the weapons there, took them out of his car, and walked up with it. I don't know if that man not been the thing, but I think say if he left the weapon at the trunk of Imotuka, the boots, or inside Imotuka and lock Imotuka, he like Uskai was scare people when I explanation. Come for what's Imotuka, they he was the outside but not the inside. So I think it was ill-advised. It was not a smart thing to do. Now, having said that, I think it's a stretch of logic, particularly legal logic, to say that a man went into State House with a gun, a Glock 17, loaded with 10 bullets to assassinate the president. That must have been one hell of a suicide mission. Because I can almost tell each and every one of you guys that if he had gone in there to do that and had succeeded in doing that, they would have skinned him alive.
Yeah.
You understand? They would have skinned him alive. And I don't think that was his intention. And I know Paolo Conteh very well. I competed against him back in the 70s in sports. When I was at Prince of Wales School in Edwards, and he was at Services Secondary School. And we've been chummies since then. I know he's not the type of guy that makes those kinds of crazy decisions, like wanting to go take out the President Bio. So with regards to the charge of treason, conspiracy to commit treason, I don't think that can be sustained, given the evidence that we've learned so far. With regards to the issue of the weapon, they are charging him with having an with the unlawful carrying of a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want you guys to focus on the word unlawful.
Yeah.
Because you need to answer this question. If someone has a license to carry a weapon, is that unlawful when he's caught carrying that weapon? Because when you analyze legal issues, you try to break it down to the facts that are most important to analyze. In this case, it is leave the sentence out. Just take the word unlawful. He was unlawfully carrying a weapon. Now, if the charge were amended to unlawfully carrying a weapon at State House,
right,
and there is a law that says you cannot carry a weapon within the confines of State House without authorization, then the charge can be amended to that, and it can be charged for that. However, as it is charged presently, it's not sustainable, and it would not be sustainable if he can prove that he had a license to carry that gun. Now, having said these two things, I think this case is also an indictment of the government of the day.
Right.
An indictment of the government of the day, where people that have served the government in different capacities, when their government goes out of power, they are now placed in a position where they believe that they could be snuffed out at any time, or where they believe that they are so afraid for their lives that they have to carry a weapon to protect themselves. It is an indictment for this government. When you have a sitting minister or deputy minister, one fellow by the name of Lawrence Lima, who walks around like he's God Almighty and takes advantage of people based on the color of state authority. It is an indictment on this government and on past governments, and probably, hopefully not on future governments, that when you are out of power and you come into power, your goal is to build up the nation, not to scare the other people that had served before, except if you have proof that they have committed crimes, which is something I'll hold off on until we get to the issue of the COI report.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Iskandi. I think this is a lengthy one. I don't put plenty in there for we follow what I said. So now I come back to you, Miss Matilda, with everything Mr. Iskandi say. But at the same time, when we look at the other side of the argument, the other people in the present talk for say, well, that's a man in the UK where we don't come up and tell the the former flag bearer vice president say, well, what do we need to do for take this party out of power? And if we look back, the parts of past coups that happen in the country. So then say, look at, say, if I let you come up there with a pistol, somebody where, former defense minister, where you know a whole lot about the riskiness of Salone, there ain't no Salone politics. Why, if I even take that step there for good, like Mr. Iskandi say, well, not stupid act. But again, we all know say, it's all about perception. Somebody now Salone, just the passive stuff they want make a reality. So waiting at your own, how you be able to defend that one and talk now and say, well, we don't get past issue of coup in our Salone, And then people they talk say, well, we need for police government and all that and this. So then CM say, well, now that in the time for do for go take the man out. So what do you go say about to somebody like that way you argue that way on that point?
So even before I answer your question, make I go quickly to last week we get a little bit of this debate. And my take was, I'm really, really happy. You don't even know how happy I am that Dr. Iskandri, who happened to be a legal litigant, they amongst we right now. Because now I'm not just talking from a layman's perspective. I have, this can be backed, somebody there, we are the master sabi person, and then we also get Madam Janet, we also know master sabi person at the law for really look at waiting up in the say. And I still maintain waiting I say last week is that my question was, does Sierra Leone still have, an arm embargo? The answer is no. Is it lawful to carry arms in Sierra Leone? The answer is yes. Was his arms license? Did he have, legal, bearing to carry his arms? The answer is yes. And then what I get for say? I say he made a very stupid, a very really dumb decision. Absent mind, because what I look at people, make we move emotions out of this, make we move sentiment out of this, make we move political loyalties or whatever out of this, and make we look at the facts for what they are. Waiting I say, we are all humans and we are all fallible to making mistakes. Please, that man, no matter whose kind sniper he be, you know, go take me know if it's sabi the gun in himself. Una we sabi amuna call am after me.
Glock 17.
Glock 17 with 10 bullets for go kill president. We're surrounded by how many bodyguards them? Are you kidding me? If even he was a trained sniper, you know what I'm saying? So me honestly feel, and this is my honest opinion. Me honestly feel say this man is in the habit of carrying his arms in his car. And when he was called, in the haste of running to where he was called for his meeting, he forget, because now in normal, you know, when something don't be part of your normal, like for say me fluid wipe, me fluid wash na me car, in normal for make it then I me back boot all the time. You know what I mean? Certain things then I me motorcar, then normal for they me grocery cut, in normal for they. So if I dey go on side important, or if even they call me up parliament, so for go see we prime minister, are they going to a meeting? Now that is the last thing I'm thinking about, what's in my car. You know what I mean? So me honestly feel say it was an honest mistake on his part. And upon arriving there, maybe he dawned on and say, oh shoot, me am dena me motoka for make the no can say something bambai, make a pull am, make a go give them full and tell them say this thing also dena this motoka. Now, I mean, I think the decision made was hasty. I think it was, I'm not going to say a bit political, it was political. It has all the traces of a vendetta based on waiting we now know say then they charge them with. Because I don't see how you go charge somebody with treason, waiting like which act of treason he commits. And even the charges, just like Dr. Iskandri said, I would have understood, understand if they charge him with unlawful possession of arm within the premises of the State House. But the word unlawful possession of arm entirely right there, don't like, you know, if I was trying this case, if I was I will disintegrate that how you call them, that charges they all together. You see what I mean? So yeah, for the one that way they talk say, you know, they charge them, you know, being get rights for do this, na assassinate him, they try for go assassinate. When last did you hear of a military coup d'etat in what world and in what country? These are things that people don't have appetite for anymore. People don't get appetite for military coup d'etats anymore. Honestly speaking, I don't understand people who will go to the conspiracy theory that, oh, this thing was set up in England and now then they enact them, then they put them into manifestation. Let us be realistic in our approach and in how we approach things.
Okay, thank you very much, because I know so today Bokula, I'll go for the interrupting us small. Mr. Kutuba, you ready for joining me now, sir? Because I want to send this question.
No,
sorry?
You know, if I didn't any time I will make you know. I just continue.
Yeah, because I want to know, because I want to send this question directly to you, because I know so you don't put Bokuli in concerning this issue, and I want to bring you in.
You ask a question, I will ask a question for saying articulated opinion, I go and leave that to. But if you ask question, that's fine.
Yeah, your question is, if you feel say they're supposed to be charged with treason. That question I want to answer to you right now.
Well, some of we always be guided by history. And we great man
Well,
okay, I'll come up with a name. The great philosopher.
Well,
it's called the senior moment. It's called the senior moment. That's okay.
The great philosopher, Edmund Burke. See? He said one day will not be made by yesterday.
Well,
and will be the same.
Well,
so now taking this case, Brigadier John Aban Bangwa, 1970, for whatever reason, they accuse him, say he attempted for usurp the executive authority of the country by force of arms. Nobody knows outside the see arms with him. We very good old friend, Mohammed Soifona. They also say they conspire that it was an attack on Kamatelo. Imagine, Kamatelo was not head of state. Kamatelo, he was not a psycho, maybe even senior to them, because he was just second vice president. They come up again and conspire for usurp the executive authority of the country by force of arms. Okay, fast forward. My very good friend, Dr. Ablai Conteh, he get all the legal people that for can't help us see. Francis Mina, Tennessee Kaika, and others, they also conspire for usurp the executive authority of the country by force of arms. Which they were charged with treason. That's what they were charged with. So, for let anybody, we normally we're talking all these people then. You see, when people they cherry pick a lemon drop issues there, if you look a bit fundamentally dishonest, they really lacking in our economy. When you really the cherry pick a lemon drop issues there, we already know so we should also. I don't care which authority will get for carrying arms. No one will go into that before the first gate now White House now 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. They then guide the way they did so. We tell us we get up on that. No way. Regardless of whether we get license or not. That's a misnomer. And the point in moot. Let alone go inside the Oval Office. It's not next to the Oval Office, close to the Oval Office with a weapon.
No, but you don't know if you go to inside it.
No,
You get that fact.
Well, when it comes so far, they say if either the chief of protocol in office. They say the chief of protocol in office.
Or there is also
office now the third floor in it.
No, I can't JT. Let me just go ahead and say.
They say the chief of protocol in office.
Well, you see, the point now, Mr. Kutubu, I think since a day most of the misperception on social media, because you always then say, the CID, the record where them pull out, well, no, that's about you. Say dense because the problem is this confusion. Like I say, some problem which we authorities them and then self can feel then conspiracy theorism. Yeah, CID cool statement. They not mention a statement whether he hand the gun over to them or now then go find the gun on her. This now very important side where them is supposed to clear to the public immediately when they arrest the man. Or when they invite and said before they pull up press level, don't tell the public whether the man who said the area where they see the gun or the area where it give them, that means for don't clear, but put out on so many people then what they say because so many people in talk right now in terms of speculations. Some people when they say he hand them over to the security inside because he normally finds inside motor. Then some people talk say, well, it goes inside. These are two different things, and depending on what happen. So over to you, JT.
Okay, let's wrap up here. Therefore, the alpha and omega of this argument will be no waiting the common CID when they make facts. That nine are the be all and end all of them.
Well, the point is like most of we know most of we now normally wait again because if again if we don't go to this point, most of we come out and talk about some people are already found guilty, some people say not guilty and make we bring them up now. And because of some of this,
you're not going to cut it. So the point
no, well, because of this opinion, I make you feel
it's not going to cut it. So we by
the next step now for the server. So now, JT, we don't see this. The government in most cases where they can come, they're not. Yes, okay. Well, I want to follow up with Mr. Kutumi in the same. We cannot see in the for interrupter. So go ahead.
The first thing we are saying now be a good politics on the BO administration for bringing Paolo into the response team for this COVID-19. Then they, even the your membership, we applaud them for that day. And a lot of independent people that like we would applaud them because we want to see national cohesion in Salone. And we want to see people them being on board because of their capabilities there, irrespective of their tribe or their region. So me, I be applaud that particular thing they will do. Secondly, Paolo insisted on your part for accept that and call it. It show how gentle or how loyal it is to the country. So me say applaud them personally. And now the APC camp, a lot of people can be bashing for even accepting that thing there. So politically, this government for look into the time bash with them, the bash because of we take the appointment, and let them try for solve it instead of escalating this thing here. Because the idea that it be good for coup for kill Bio, make no sense. I go with a pistol with 10 bullets with that kind inside the way with the whole battalion. That's why it don't make sense. So
therefore, let go to the judicial process.
Yeah, but based on what is in the public, this man they are not with so many cases now against people. That recently the whole Thomas More the second sitting and release her. So based on what you will see for us, we know say for us, ain't not get for go no side.
Fine. You know? Let that be the outcome of the judicial. Let that be a judicial decision.
In fact, that question I'm going to take to anti-genetic right now because we don't find out see this administration not arrest so many people from where they come. We don't see too many people in the arrest and they don't release them. We not even get a single person on charge for any serious case. Where even the comedian where they say they begin to this treason talk careless one. The activists them even so some of the APC people themselves where they all let me you talk about somewhere like Kramokaba for this lady also where they go born. Take this day that case. So don't say the case don't go. We don't know for replace the house. Come on, don't go in your life. So again, if they catch people the whole people one day charge big charge against them, then tomorrow they prove nothing and left them. How people then go to take them serious? So Antigen, this is my own question to you. You feel the government got for be careful, then so then charge them the tool loosely, or then illegally get a grip on this one for so then get plenty evidence for this case.
You know, we take more. I want to go straight to this court of public opinion. We don't become the alternative system of justice. That's what it look like. You know, like you all people and they make their own statements all over the place. So that's if they interfere with the case where they happen at Salone. You know, but so government then get their lawyers them, therefore be responsible. You know, in reaching. And that kind of a decision there, where they will say we hold this person for this. Like where Ali you say, you can forget facts where they support that claim there. You know, where they support the offense where you roll out. So we not really understand. And like you spoke about the comedian, then they say because he made the back like a dog and XYZ, then they say they don't hold him for treason. You know, you and I went through that behind the scenes and I mean, it's just, I mean, you ask yourself, is this government really responsible? You know, you get the Attorney General who signed the left, don't take all NTRDB. Who should we blame? That is the question we want to throw to Aliyu. Who should we blame? Because the Attorney General, now the mouthpiece for the government. We want to know who signed the left, don't take all the bogus things so they reach the public.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Scanley. You don't say the questions for you, so go ahead.
So, me not get much confidence in the Attorney General of Sierra Leone. From that time where I read that woman they sing Madabio, I knew this was not what our country needed. The issues in Sierra Leone is that with regards to the law, we do not have enough legal aptitude. You know, we do not have enough legal aptitude. That's our problem. If that case was in the United States, I can guarantee you one thing, that they would clearly, in a very definitive manner, make sure, say, when then they write the indictment, it's clear as to what was done and when it was done.
Right.
You see, successive governments in Sierra Leone have used the judiciary as a pawn to achieve their political goals or to scare away their political opponents. I've been on talk about this many times. I talk about this under an Escomine government, and I talk about this under this government again. We have to have a country where the separation of church the three arms of government are clear, such that the president does not have to have any reason whatsoever to interfere in what goes on in the judiciary. We also have to have a government where the judiciary is separated from all other arms of government. What thing they have been so far? We have elected, appointed people into the office of the Attorney General who are just political lackeys. If you think I'm lying, go through the list of, and Kotubu Koroma is good at that. Go through the list of all the Attorney Generals that we have had in Sierra Leone. You can only pick about one or two that went into that position for the right reasons. Probably Batan Macaulay Sr. and probably Dr. Abdullahi Conteh. That's my opinion. But every other Attorney General that's been in that job has been a political lackey. So if you ask me the question, what do we do about it? We need a government that will change the system and respect that in any democracy, there are three branches of government. And those three branches of government, none should have to be able to control the other. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, Mr. Scanley, I want some, because I don't agree. There's so many things about take on a White House. But people need to understand, say, plenty. First of all, America, you get you gone. but not you they declare before you enter to the security. So that is that a crime? Because everybody talks, well, you're not supposed to take gun in the White House. But to me, I understand because I don't want to plenty quarters. We're not supposed to take gun inside quarters, but when you reach they declare to the officer that you hand them over, you go inside the courthouse, then when you come out back, then give you gun. So is that a crime though? Because we need to clarify that. And Ms. Pachadon, there's so many people to talk about.
The key word is unauthorized. Unauthorized. You have to understand that America has the Second Amendment that grants people the right to have a gun. And if you are in a particular position in life, you may even have the right to carry a concealed weapon. If, for example, you work for a company where you have to make bank runs and you have to carry plenty of money to make those bank runs, you can apply for and be given a concealed weapon. I don't want us to compare what happens in the White House to what happens at State House.
Yes.
It's two different things. You understand?
Yeah.
At the White House, you have the leader of the world's most powerful nation. At State House, you have the leader of the world, one of the world's smallest nations. You understand? It was still wrong for Paolo Conteh to take the weapon to the grounds of State House, whether he had a right to do it or not. Because you have a right to do something does not make it smart for you to do it.
That's right.
So we're looking at the wrong and the legality side. I think that's where people will be mistaken. So
go ahead, ask the question. Finish.
I try to see when you say wrong, what do you mean? Because we need to put them in the concept where the layman side go understand. Because I know something with mix up the legal side and logical side.
Well,
so
when I say
put that side, it will help you smaller for clear that green line there.
Okay, when I say it was wrong, it was wrong to the extent that I assume that because of his familiarity with a State House, Paolo Conteh knows the rules, that you cannot go into State House with a weapon, particularly a weapon that's loaded. He should know those rules. Or we get something in law where we say, you should have known, you should know, or should have known.
Yes.
That you cannot do that. You understand? So that's why I say it's wrong. I also say it's wrong because he knew that, well, if he didn't know it, then he's not as smart as I think he is. He knew that if they catch him with a weapon, it just will give them people their political mileage. And the political mileage, SLPP, they mine so right now. You understand? The truth of it is that it was wrong, not only from a legal perspective, but from a moral perspective, from a logical perspective, and from a common sense perspective. You don't take a weapon when you belong to the opposition party to a meeting with the president and have that weapon out of your vehicle or have it be known that you have that weapon. It was a smart move. That's why it was wrong.
Okay.
So, well, Ms. Matilda, now you know you're tuned up to his kind, you don't say. So, if they say now that's the government, they will use, now court say, well, if you don't know better. So, how you feel so then we can't define this kind of case?
CEO, can I ask a quick question? Sorry,
Yeah,
can I ask Ali a quick question? Ali?
Yes.
Yes, you know, this idea of entering the grounds of State House. If we go back to who Paolo Conteh is, we know say he don't be Minister of Justice. Then we know say he become Minister of Internal Affairs and all of that. And Paolo Conteh, na person we get a well-founded fear for his own life, and he's carrying this gun for his own protection, which is a human right of itself. Okay, if he take this gun into the grounds of State House, but didn't take it into the building itself, it was left at the post. For say, I declare this thing. Can we also go on to say he was wrong to have taken the gun to State House, away from him being political opposition, just being a person?
Okay, so you've asked questions that have a multiplicity of angles.
Yes.
Let me address one of them.
Yes. Yes.
If I were president, anyone coming into State House is going to be searched from the top of their car, their pockets, their personal being, the trunk of their vehicle, everywhere in their vehicle. With that, if you don't ever go to Radisson Blue and get one mirror where they put under your motor car for see, it's a convex mirror for see what's in there under there. If you put something there,
Yes.
it is highly unlikely that the president of a country would invite you to a meeting with regards to a potential pending public health emergency, a meeting for which you are most qualified to be there, having been the head of the Ebola thing. And it is highly unlikely that under those circumstances, they're going to arrest you, abuse you, assault you, or cause battery to your person. Therefore, it is my position, and I hold it there, that he didn't need to have brought the weapon with him. But as somebody said, absent-mindedly, he may have been used to having that weapon in that particular bag with money in it, and probably for emergency purposes. And I'm telling you guys, if any of you have lived in Freetown for an appreciable period of time, you need a gun. You do need a gun. I have lived in America for 41 years. And I tell you what, hold off a second.
Evidence.
Let's go.
Evidence. Evidence.
I have my reason for being in here.
Second Amendment. Second Amendment.
You're too far away. And let me tell you why. Because when someone breaks into my house in the middle of the night, in America, if I dial 911 within 5 minutes, the police will be at my house. Because I live in an area where the police will make it a target to get there. In Sierra Leone, you don't even know which emergency number you need to call on Africell, QCell, the other, whatever companies. You understand? That's number one. Number two, in Sierra Leone, the police patrol on foot. They have officers, senior officers, that have 3 or 4 police vehicles parked in the yard to take their wives and their children out. But they don't have enough police vehicles to put the police to patrol. I have been all over Freetown and seen police on foot walking on Pademba Road. And sometimes I ask myself the question, walking on Pademba Road carrying a semi-automatic rifle or an AK-47, or sometimes an Uzi. And I ask myself the question, if there's a 911 emergency and somebody is in your house, more than a few people with machetes and guns and ready to kill you, who you gonna call? Who you gonna call?
You gotta go Ghostbusters.
By the time the police get there, you are dead. By the time the police get there, you're dead. And there's only one way you can protect yourself is to have a weapon. And a weapon where you can use it. You see that shotgun? When I let it out, when I pump that action, when I let it out, if 5 people there before me, 5 people, they get pellets in them. And if I put the real slugs in it, if one person there in front of me, when I let it out, I take the whole belly out. If my face I take the whole face out. Because I would rather be judged by 12 than be carried by 6. When Paolo Conteh had that weapon, he had that weapon for a reason. Because this government don't create an atmosphere of fear just because people serve in previous government. And that is wrong.
So, okay, well, let me get to Matilda, but like we all don't talk. This now, the previous Salone, we don't see no prevalence for coup back in the days. And now we look at Mother being situation, what happened between and our kind of power first, our NPRC come power now over somebody. And then what happened between and Strasser, now the similar thing happened with the same piece to business. So you know go feel say to them will take on the same way something Paolo the same one kind because it's a former military man.
I don't think so. And first off, let me say this. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. However, everyone is supposed to respect the law, just like everyone should also have equal treatment of the law. I hope that people understand what I just say. Everyone is supposed to respect the law, just as everyone should be given equal treatment under the law. With that said, waiting, you just don't ask. We don't understand that period there, but that period was a period of uncertainty. Make we not forget to waiting have been some of the issue them lead to with civil war. And going through that civil war, waiting are some of the issues them will lead to the formation of the MPRC. And during the MPRC regime, yes, there were, coup d'etats and in-house coup d'etats and all of that. But we have moved past that. We don't go past that day. We don't enter into a democracy. We don't get elections. We don't get re-elections. We don't get re-elections then and whatnot. So me not see how at this particular moment in time, me not see how the world or even Sierra, make we even pull the world come out, because when we put the world inside, we are adding an extra factor. I not see how Sierra Leoneans then go even sit down for allow a coup d'etat for take reign inside Sierra Leone. Could there be a bit of apprehension or fear or insecurities? I mean, maybe, but at the end of the day, that insecurity was driven by your actions. So you are the only one that can manage that insecurity. In as much as you say you're bold enough for take the flag bearership not once, but twice, and now you have won and you've succeeded in attaining your goals and objective, me not see waiting for make you afraid. Me not see waiting for make you go back to history and say, well, because I've been torpedo this person and we torpedo that person there, so therefore maybe then go can't torpedo me. We have had successful democratic elections, whether they were democratic in the sense of democracy, that is another entirely different question. But for waiting we get right now, and for waiting we don't experience over the past 20 years, I think there is evidence. We don't build enough evidence for really say the idea of a coup d'etat or plot or assassination is I'm not saying it's far-reaching, but people definitely would not have appetite for such. People are not going to encourage them, and I mean the populace themselves will rise up and rebel. That's my opinion.
All right. So, like Mr. Kutubu, you hear Ms. Matilda say, like after the past 20 close to 30 years now, like let me say, most of the African states may not say no more coup. If somebody say no coup, they're not going to allow you no more. So you feel say with that now these days, if we begin to look at the Conteh, is a little bit different from how we was looking back in the days?
The answer is very simple. For let me move forward. Now, only one thing more we need to one. When I mean enjoy anyhow look at one. The exceptionalism of the United States, not exist in vacuum. United States great, we don't be the heaven on earth. Not to because of the White House or other new car with the President Trump or Air Force One. No. Those are all vanity. United States great because now a place where nobody know they above the supreme law. Everybody's under the law. Everybody. Anyhow, if we not believe, Trump just don't go to impeachment. Yes, technically, but the mere fact that the president of the United States, sitting president for go to impeachment, na big thing and August 9, 1974, with Nixon in up on the helicopter, they say so. The people they not fire one gun. In your people they're inside the Democratic Party like the Senate and say, oh man, you get for go. You get for go. That shows how this country, when people like the spew they kind of about irresponsible claptrap and inane proposition say about America falling, I say no, you didn't Alice in Wonderland. Or you live and we could waste it for 20 years. United States will never follow. Because they believe, say, the only thing when at the ethical foundation and the moral compass for sustain the society as well, for all that go, now the rule of law, relax. When we decide for not being the rule of one man, I give you an example. Me good friend talk say he go left after 2 months after election. 2 months, he will give up the president's the headship of APC party. Say yesterday, he did it, still, he did it. That was very clear. So the same people that they try for manipulating, now that the same thing Alpha Conde they do not give it.
No, but my own question is about the coups in Africa, because I know saying that they would talk about the Ghana here.
Yeah, but this is what happens. One a day when I don't get rule of law, this is what happens. I don't even go to waiting precipitate the takeover in Salone. Now, because of this form of totalitarian madness was here now, Shakastinis took over a democratic system which was entrenched in Westminster Constant. As soon as he come, and the first thing he do, as soon as he copied the Soviet Union, China, Russia, and all the other places in Cuba, and he bring up. And those kind of politics and that failed politics and the politics of dictatorship. Say anything you want about many people there, but at least everybody they participate. Waiting again politics they call it psychophancy, liberalism, say the poverty one year, all of them. Now even with judges don't become exponentially corrupt because they don't get no other way for go. You hardly see people that take principal position at who said that somebody to say, Paolo, this one will work now. Everybody one man I not be the be all and end all na African countries. Even when we get tripartite system of governance, who say by any talk of parliament, the president. America, the government of the United States. Some go talk all the talk from January to December, but now waiting people they want idea. So the answer to that is simple. Let we decide for submit to the dictates of the rule of law. That's it. That's the alpha and omega of the argument.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, Mr. Can go ahead. I don't see your answer too well.
Mr. Kutubu, with all due respect, you not answer the question, but let me address something where you address. You see, authoritarianism is not that bad. If it were that bad, China would not be one of the largest economies in the world today. It would have been subdued by the West. If it were that bad, Russia would not be one of the strongest countries in the world today, militarily, if not the strongest. Here's my take. And I sort of disagree a little bit with my sister Matilda. Bra, anybody who don't where devil close and fire catch you, where you see other person they count devil close, they run. You understand? That man know what coups are all about. No one can justify the coup against the NPRC coup. No one can justify the murder of 29 people on December 29, 1992. All that they play in aid. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now that make that man afraid. Bra, who that not get ghost not afraid. You understand? All this is just hyped up by the SLPP and this government when they should be focused on a potential pandemic that has not yet hit the grounds in Sierra Leone, when they should be focused on trying to keep it out, because if that coronavirus hits Sierra Leone, it will kill more people than Ebola killed. Me, I lost 7 people, members of my family, under Ebola. I know what a pandemic is. You understand? That man afraid, brah, and he fit afraid because that man be not gonna. What do they call this radio station where they up signal hill? Where they go with a force, not to Kingston. Okay, up signal hill. I don't hear him during the 2007 election where he debate Berewa and John, what is his lawyer name? John Lee, where they both say that in give power to SLPP because na in take over militarily. So I can understand why he feel that way. It's paranoia. The belief that if they take over from me, they will treat me the same way we will treat other people then. It's a way we take over from them. How many of you remember NPIC? I was in America then, but I know what the NPIC do. My father was Minister of Tourism. You know, build one day news, you know, one day send in Pekin and go college. When they lock up, you know what they lock up for? They say not collect rent na hotel as Minister of Tourism. They say not collect rent na hotel, therefore you get for pay. These guys were arbitrary in their decisions. They locked my father up for over 2 years. And while he was locked up, he was tortured by this very NPIC that this man was a part of. So I understand how he feels. You understand? Would I not get shadow being another free? Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
No, that's fine. All I wanted to say to your point exactly is that if now out of fear, then so they happen, then it is fear brought up by your own actions or your past actions.
Do that.
So it's almost like it's you looking at yourself at the mirror. But if you have this innate fear, but then you still insist for be part of governance and at the helm and echelon at the helm and for be the Agbagba and the government, then you don't see history have shown at least that we are no longer in such atmosphere. We are no longer in such era or in such dispensation or disposition where, people then go just come and overtake or overthrow and make coup and whatnot. Because even the Sierra Leonean people, they're not get appetite for that anymore. They're not interested in that kind of, lifestyle day and, hostile, governance system or structure anymore. So therefore, he should be rest assured that he will be given the chance to rule. He will be given the time that has been allotted to him to rule. That's all I am saying. But if that fear they come, me no go use that fear they as an excuse because it is a fear brought on by your own actions.
Well, again, Mr. Kutubu, if I can just see only 1 second, Mr. Kutubu, go ahead.
3 questions.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Iskani, here a question. What you will make up of a statement we will say, if we not in power, we will make this place ungovernable. What you will make out of that statement like that?
So let me address.
Answer that, the big part of it. How do we get ourselves out of this existential quagmire? We don't meet African countries them where this kind of instability, they know they back towards democracy. After you don't answer that question, if we not rule now, we will make the place ungovernable and wait forward out of the quagmire.
So let me address that question very quickly. Both parties, APC and SLPP, have said this same thing more than once. Ernest Koroma said that when in 2007, that if APC not come back into power or then cheat APC in the election, they will make the country ungovernable.
Yeah.
Madabio said that before during the 2012 election and before the 2015 election.
Yeah.
You understand? He said that. He said the same thing. So you cannot blame one section for saying the same thing that the other party has said before. You understand? The problem is that we in Sierra Leone need to find a way to vote out these two parties because they do not mean any good for us. If at 59 years old, our country is, with all the diamonds, gold, and mineral resources that we have, we still cannot have leaders that will take the country from this step to the next step, then we need to understand what our problems is. Our problem is that we are using the same methodology that we used before that has failed, and we're still using it, and we're still failing. We need to find leaders outside of the tribal prism. We need to find leaders outside of the regional prism. We need to find leaders outside of the APC and SLPP. We need to find leaders that have Sierra Leone in their heart, not in their pockets. Next question, sir.
All right, Mr. Jetty, no, Jetty, I don't keep them for too long.
Waiting me, they say, as a political analyst, right? Do you get all right for life here? Especially Paolo going there with a piece to we get ammunition or we get bullets. Yeah. But waiting me understand, waiting happen between Paolo and the security guards, it totally different from waiting go on be presented to Bio. Because Bio they act on waiting the security then tell her. I think say like that's why when they say, oh, Paolo get the gun before they pass, Paolo not get the gun before that the deeper and I make them know. If it be clear to Bio, some of them, even the charges they're not for don't come. So somebody they cover up something and either the security and they cover up something, then they talk the truth or something. But for national cohesion, I think say Bio for be magnanimous. Let it let Paolo go, let it focus on these existential threat right now, we are the COVID-19. If you do that, now a political it will get a political reward. Because a lot of people in there right now, the economic situation not good. Then think they are in ginger then, and you see they eat some chara then in a different corner there. We don't need that right now as a nation. We want one voice, and we move forward, irrespective of economic situations right now. Thank you.
All right. So let me get it. Yeah, Auntie Janet, you answered something. Okay, go ahead. 1 minute. 1 minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, me just want to say in this issue, I know say we are talking about President Bio. The issue is not, the decision is not up to the president. Let's get that clear.
Then who? Who is it? Who?
It's a court system. Not the president. The court, the court system.
No. And then so we don't do in the past. We dey usai we dey for many reasons right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Decision is not up to the president. We have a court system. We have a tribunal system.
So Sierra Leone. No, you might think so, but Sierra Leone, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that in Sierra Leone.
But not to the president charge them though. It's not to the president put in charges here.
I understand the real world. But in Sierra Leone, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
If we keep saying it doesn't remain at the abyss, then the same system we are trying to change, we are the ones that are enforcing it. So let us be clear in what we do and say.
So we're not the reform right now. We're not the reform.
Because we go to court, let the matter get resolved.
Okay.
Mr. Conteh,
for me, I stand where I stand, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and say this decision it's up to the president. No, it's not up to the president. It's up to the justice system. It's up to the chief justice. It's up to the minister, whatever you call that woman.
The attorney general.
The attorney general. This decision rests between the office of the attorney general, the court system, the CID, the head of CID.
But the court system corrupt. The court system corrupt.
Let us not covert roles where they do not belong. No.
Okay. Mr. Moderator.
Yes, sir.
Observe one thing where they go on. Mr. Conteh, they talk about the reality on the ground.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sister Matilda Cole, they talked about the idealism
Right.
of it to be. You see the dichotomy right there.
No, they see the dichotomy, yeah, but the idealism will go.
They don't say the system depends. Let me tell you what the system depends on. It depends on a damn good lawyer going in there and doing a motion to dismiss those charges. It depends on a judicial system and judges that will sit down and listen to it. It depends on an appellate system that will sit down and hear the appeal within a given period of time. If in California, I have a client right now in one of my cases that I have that was charged after 2 months before the 6th anniversary of this incident. He was charged with murder because he was a repeat drunk driving offender where was involved in an automobile accident and he died. He didn't die. The passenger in the vehicle died. So he was charged with murder. So I appear in court the first time. And the first thing I asked for, which I knew they didn't have, was give me the blood sample so I can have an expert witness test it. Because what little knowledge I know about blood samples is that the alcohol content in that blood sample would have deteriorated over, that is if they still have it, would have deteriorated over that 6-year period. That if any other person go test it right now, it will test with 0 alcohol. So when I did the motion, the district attorney walks up to me, we're friends. He said, Ali, you, I say, yeah, you old son of a bitch. You know we don't have that blood. And I just laughed. I just laughed. I said, yeah, I do. That's why I'm asking you for dismissal. Because you don't have the evidence. What we need in Sierra Leone is lawyers that are that aggressive. You understand? So right now they are the DA's office is considering a dismissal of the case because are all on one side. Do you have the evidence to prove that this blood is was above, that he had any appreciable amount of alcohol in his system?
In his blood.
You don't have the blood no more. In the law, we call that spoliation of evidence. That means you don't have the evidence to prove that there was some blood. Where is his blood? It's not. What you need is good lawyers in Sierra Leone. But my experience has been that most they get good lawyers in a Salone, but they don't get the kind of sharp, brilliant lawyers they like the way we're in the screen in America. Because we in America, you do your pupillage when you are in school. We don't always see you get that law degree and you pass the bar. The next day you are in court and you don't have nobody with you.
But we have lawyers. The thing is, the system not they operate. And they even give the level playing field. Imagine if APCB file motions then against and then people that would remove from parliament. When that case don't come na court. But at the same time, NRM file a motion, then bring a quick for ban APC and convention way for be gone. So the system, now Yuki system, it's not normal. Under normal circumstances, we have lawyers.
But at the same token, I can also say, according to let's use what we have now that is evidential that we can go by, right? And the same thing, Adi Macaulay in tweet not say in front of me the writ of someone was served to or was read to Paolo Conteh by President Bio. No. So now that make we pull President Bio come out of this. When the APC
if we reform the system, I would say that.
What's his name? The APC guy there, the leader. Is it the leader of APC? What's his name? The man that was arrested. Yansane. When Yansane was arrested, he was arrested with so many things were levied against him. But at the end of the day, was he not released? And all charges were dropped. Recently, this other guy, the activist guy, was he not arrested on all sorts of trumped up whatever? but has he not been released again with no charges? So sometimes I know we do have a system that is faulty. I know we have a system that sometimes or most times is not reliable. But however, like lawyer Iskandri just said, if we have lawyers who are what they are taught, who really know what they are doing, and they can be the defense or whatever counsel, trust me, they can poke this matter so quickly that it will be distributed.
Like I said, also the system they work, it's not a big thing, okay? Because first of all, we actually produce a picture of the scanner. There's so many evidence you can produce in a court. We all know say you the level the charge against the person, now you get for prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, we say we don't know Paolo in intention. At the same time, the courts we don't know what are the evidence where the state gets against her right now. So for right now, we just say Auntie Janet. Yes. I will give the last one before we come to the next one, or they can talk about the commission of inquiry, the white people with the hand over to the president yesterday. Because I know today we can't start.
Follow down, open the line. People they don't tower.
Well, I just to check because I also don't keep along. So you think how you feel the court going to prove the case now?
Well, waiting more. Me just believe in presumption of innocence, and that principle is very powerful. Say until that man goes through the court system and then find out guilty, he's an innocent man and he shouldn't be kept where he is kept. And the other thing again, intent. How the prosecution will show intent. Paolo Conteh for say he carried a gun in at that place. Yes, it's an overt act. He carried a gun at the place, but how they were able for match standing with what they think when they carry a gun they go. They carry a gun they go for your own protection. Not to go kill president. But I want to throw this back to Aliyu. Let Aliyu talk about intent and overt act, because and then two things that they look at before talk about treason.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to hit on that point. Every trial lawyer knows one thing. When you use the word intent, you have to go into that person's mind, the actor's mind, to figure out what his intent was. In the absence of your ability or to exercise such clairvoyance, to go into someone's mind to think what he was thinking, how do you prove intent? You prove intent by the quantum of acts that surround the central action. Let me give you an example. I gave that example just a few hours ago to somebody that raised this same issue to me. How do you prove intent that a drunk driver who was involved in an accident and killed someone had the intent to kill someone? Let me explain that to you. He was at the bar. He had drunk so much that by the time he left his stool, he fell down a few times and his friends had to pick him up. His friends advised him not to have that one last one for the road. He got a double shot of tequila and he downed it in one shot. His friends advised him that you're too drunk to go into your car. He didn't listen to that. He walked to his car. He couldn't even start his car for the first 5 minutes. He was so drunk. Then he started his car. Then when he started his car, he swerved a few times in the parking lot. Then hit the freeway. 10 minutes later, he was involved in an accident and someone died. We may not be able to go into that person's mind and say exactly that he intended to kill someone. But the quantum of acts surrounding the central action brings us to the point of saying, being able to prove that intent.
That's right.
But can the opposition, can the government, prosecute your back to use the same thing? Say, well, first of all, Paolo na Santen, we don't go first in the president's office the day before, earlier, we didn't go sit down, and nothing may happen. And then secondly, now during the daytime, and you say they go security day, so they not go. Then say no go talk. Say, well, the man may not still say they go safe, and why make it take the gun for go with our day? So there's another type of work at that kind of line. They say, well, there's an intention for go time for legal cause havoc because he knows any threat, and the president already called him, even though he supported the APC settlement like him, but they may not even find time for bringing him in for letting go get this unity among them. Then say, not president work against this, would for use that kind of case against him?
No, sir. Because no, sir. It's a weak set of facts. Okay. I can just imagine a prosecutor being on the other side arguing these facts against me and say, but Your Honor, he came there yesterday and he wasn't arrested. Maybe his gun was in his car. You understand? Listen, in order to prove that Paolo Conteh had an intent to harm the president by his having a weapon in the premises of the State House, you have to have witnesses, co-collaborators, co-conspirators. Somebody has to come up like Mr. Beyawa did during the after the AFIC coup, where he was paying people in Conakry to come testify against certain people that they had targeted. And now this Beyawa will just die. They call them people, they need collaborators. In order for them to prove that intent, they have to have more evidence than that. You see, circumstantial evidence is a quantum of evidence, not just one or two things. Yeah. If, for example, I go inside yours, then I won't come on yours quick, and one of the won't come on yours, fire the kitchen I use. Then one of the won't come on yours, and they won't come on yours with petrol, half gallon petrol and beyond. There's circumstantial evidence that the man where all the half gallon petrol we won't come on and use, and I set fire to use. You understand?
In actual fact.
So you have to have the fact that he had been there the day before does not raise the issue of his intent.
No.
So that's rubbish.
We have 5 calls, and little girl bring the calls, and we give them 2 minutes each, and after which now they can go to the Commission of Inquiry, because I know this one will get more for go. More of them in case they come. Alex Salone, then they give you the news to make video. No need to ask for. Let me get the first caller in. Good evening, caller. What name was the call from, please?
Hey, good evening. How you doing?
Yeah. But what name was the call from?
Virginia. I'm a concerned citizen.
All right, if you go. So what's your own take on the topic tonight?
So
2 minutes, please.
I don't listen to the landed Mr. Isinga, I don't know his name, but I feel say it don't talk a lot about this issue. And let's talk about 1 or 2 things. When this thing came out, Paolo Conteh issue came out, I talk say this is a political gimmick and all other issue. But I be there at Salone. I was fortunate to be in Salone like 3 months ago. And I'll be fortunate for passing that country to that State Avenue area. But say if Paolo Conteh yearly, with due respect to her, if Naimbi come up with this thing for say, there were people when go to State House, there were people who wanted to wash his car and remove that gun. I feel say we need to take a second look at that particular statement. I don't believe it's Paolo Conteh now for my common, but if not for my common, we need to look at that particular thing. Because what did that happen? I don't know for the past, but now, no reflect go near that State Avenue. There is a gate immediately after the Conteh 3. Anybody where they go, if you don't know government vehicle, or you don't get appointment letter, but then at that State House or Vice President law, they never even allow you to walk out on foot to go through that State House. Because that place, that parliament, whatever building, that military headquarters now, all that place have been blocked. But say, there are people in that particular locality where they wash motorcar. We need to look, we need to re-examine Paolo Conteh in statement from this. If like him from a Ikomo, or say people are there. Remember, there are a lot of car wash stations that have been built, and they are even underutilized. by this present administration. So would I ever be that was why the way they hang around state house, they watch motor they tip them, they don't discourage that. So that particular statement, it's wrong. We have to re-examine that. Two, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, they have a call back now. 2 minutes they give because you get plenty of the show tonight. Never have a call back, please. Whichever the first 5 call, we go back to the next set of call and later after that. Let me get the next caller in. You are on a cut down to 2 minutes, please. Good evening, caller. What name inside the call from, please?
Yeah, good evening. This is Alaji Umar from.
Good evening, caller. What name inside the call from?
This is Alaji Umar from Philadelphia.
Yeah, Mr. Alaji. So what now you take on the topic tonight, sir?
Yeah. This issue look rather more complicated in the sense because if you look at when the president would come into power, I want to know whether Paolo Conteh ever gonna State House at any time before the time where they invite and for this Corona thing, because it able read from that perspective whether it be done a good day. So if you not mean a good day, now invite them based on because of this national thing, because of Corona thing. So go there based on invitation. So if you go there based on this invitation and you don't say because we don't know what team they go on, but in a man with a work out in gun, and then they happen because they don't take security in their hand, or the minister way maybe legally supposed to get security. So then people say don't forget security for themselves. I mean, some people they secure them in case because they want to do project.
We lost the call.
Oh, you nearly get me? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. One loss. Go ahead. You get about 2 minutes. Yeah, go ahead because you get a couple of minutes left night time. Go ahead.
Okay. So also, we also want to know whether when he reached the State House, now involuntarily left in phone na the security post because that back I think it's very important because somebody where they go assassinate somebody or for go do anything in there, you know go declare in pistol or what he get na the security post. But I get this so la left and
So thank you very much, sir. Now we get the next caller again. Like I said, about 2 minutes. So I forget your point in within 2 minutes. Yeah, because I'm going to you, but you have to zero that bell. The time up. We'll go to the next caller because we're going to get plenty of calls in tonight. I'm not getting the next caller. Good evening, caller. What name outside the call from, please?
Thank you very much, sir. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, they are turning the sets down from side this into we. Okay, the echo.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Me and Mohammed I come from Maryland. I just want to buttress Miss Matilda. What if they say, Mr. Iskandri? They don't put it in open. Salone don't come out from the coup d'etat issue. We don't transition past 3 governments. We don't get a peaceful transition of power from one government to another. We don't make 4-5 elections after the dark days of Mother Bio. After the darkest days, where them we don't cause all the political atrocity, after their own killings, all lengthening, and we have crossed past those eras. We have had transition, peaceful transition, until 2018, where Madabio can be president back. Where they say the transition was if it was cool, the guy in a hotel, now they didn't go do transition hotel. And the inauguration was so poorly organized. From the onset, we don't see the danger where they are ahead of we. But they don't count with the dream. Just like where Kutubu Sidoanda, where they count the old dreams there. They talk about Sheikha Stephen, that. They see the archaic, the old grudge for them people there. Anytime where they see the count all the old. We don't pass that era there. America, we don't get a civil war. We don't cross that era. Now a transitional period with the power. We don't come up from 1990. When Marabi will be say they get impunity of power for go overthrow, kill this as a politically minded assassination. They don't bring we back so we don't come out. So this is not just a waste of time, like we Mr. Iskandri say. That a political witch hunt. You know, they gain power, they can follow by people who don't pass administration, we give them power. We don't come up now then days then they think about transition of power peacefully, with no force. Now this same matter will be the this person win at the overthrow.
All right, I'll get the next caller. It's time up. We can call back. Let's get the next caller, please. Good evening, caller. What name is you call from, please? Yeah, turn the set to say the from. Good evening, what name is you call from?
Yeah. Hello, Mohammed. How you doing? Hello?
You know, sir, how are you, sir? Yeah, how are you, sir? What name is you call from?
For this native way come up with. I just want me things that I talk to. Thank you for this kind of TR who they participate on. Mr. Ali, you know me your question. I really want to answer this. Mr. Ali, you know in America, a law and order they work now. My sister Mati, they talk about peaceful law and order at Salone, which is the dynamic they change. So when you don't follow law now, why Salone they don't follow law? You know, any country when they obey law, not to country down in a disaster country. So the man know. So there be the parliament don't pass laws and nobody no for go where that. So you're a lawyer, you don't in America. You got okay, you ain't a lawyer, you say you right for whole court. Go to state house to come back. Not declare go there because you get right, you get amendment for whole court, go there, Uta. Come on, you know that ain't the work. So in the work, you may know that you know the law. No one is against the law. So the money for go through the system, me know the president handle there. Me know that I get mad where they be there that group team say where Paolo be there. Paolo that man with me like bad one. For even APC where pass law say Okada they not for go at all. That time they have been respect that man. They even do that way be there back wait talk say he not get no against he not get balance for nobody. When they call me, I'll be so glad. I say good. I want let matter be put Paolo now then law side and day so that I go deal with people there. You know. But if you then you say, oh, that man that set up now, this man be afraid. Man be afraid nobody. Now the people that like I elect her. Now let them get balance here. We're gonna appoint you, you know, whether you are big go be. If you want to come on, I go Salone, you want to be president. People God say that you to be president, be. So now we let them hate that this they make the country they go before. America where they so they don't get balance. They all come together for they will move the country before and obey the law. They obey law as America. Yeah. Why Salone? If you Paolo a minister, you know, for obey the law. Come on, man. You know, make no sense, me brother. We need to move on. Whatever we don't happen, don't happen. America, you know what will happen? When they deal with slavery, they don't forget about that. They don't move the country.
Okay, that was addressed to me. Can I quickly address that?
Yeah, go ahead quickly. We'll go to the next caller.
I think this caller must understand that one of the first things I said on this program was that Paolo should be charged with stupidity. Isn't that what I said?
Yes.
Because I don't believe that Paolo was right. I have said over and over and over again, I don't believe that Paolo was right. But this is a typical example of the type of mentality that we have. Certain people believe from certain part of the region, and I say this with all honesty, that person they will talk to me, man. It gave us support the Madabio government. That's not how I think. Anybody will not say no say na me papa na nominate Ernest Koroma for the president of Sierra Leone twice. But when I ready for oppose Ernest Koroma, I did it openly. I know they hide my name. Said my papa beg me say make I hide my name. Say nope. I they tell the Uda they talk. Now for today tomorrow, then not go forget say somebody be talk. One of the first things I said in this program was this man was wrong. But then here comes one of my many brothers and starts jumping on me. And saying, oh, you say this, and totally misrepresent me. Let me say it again. Paolo's going to State House with a weapon was one of the most stupid acts that any man with a law degree, like he says he has, should have done. I say no more.
Thank you very much. Now we get the last call. This topic here, the next one. Now bring the last caller in.
Yeah.
Good evening, caller. What name is the call from, please?
Yeah, in appears Jalo, they call from Maryland.
Yes, sir. What's in your take on this topic tonight, sir?
Yeah, me right now at the go. First, Paolo supposed for no better. Paolo not the defense minister, Paolo not the internal affairs minister. He hold all the security areas. Paolo do wrong for go to gun at our state house, even by mistake or by forget. You're not supposed to go there at all. The other thing we I just want, our name is Mr. Iskandri, Dr. Iskandri, apologize right now for the word we use in the one we talk now. Mendema, don't avoid these things. It's wrong. No stop for point people and by their tribe. You know, company I can elect you. That's only that don't mean saying that so. You know, I know I'm not pointing that straight to the man before the man they divide the country by tribe. They apologize right now. That you don't take. I know I'm saying that Paolo do wrong for where I was born. That is wrong. If then they sorry for them, then sorry for them. Don't forget to do I'm your contribution.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Can I address that? Can I address that? Again,
well, 1 minute still.
Again, we have to be very careful when we say this thing. I have no reason to apologize. The accent of the man showed that he was a Mende man. And all I said was, I don't say that person the way they talk now, Mende man. Therefore, he's an SLPP supporter. Therefore, that's the way he will think. And that's the problem with most of us in Sierra Leone. It is that we think the way our tribe, the party that our tribe supports. Me, na Creole from Waterloo, I don't have a tribe. I have a country. And that's the most important thing I have. And when I called that man on he's being a Mende man because it was clear from his accent that I'm the Mende man. End of story. I have said nothing to deminimize him. As a matter of fact, I have too much respect for him. But I said that particularly for Sophie, because I'm Mende man, and I make him come on and say these things about Bio. That's the point. And if when Anes been in power, at the same way, Timney man will come and say these things about Timney, about Anes, as we say in Putloko, Itai.
All right. But so we get 10 calls. So let me see how much I'll be able to do. I'll log in next call. Good evening, caller. What's the call from, please? 2 minutes, please. We got plenty of call on the line. So 2 minutes, guys. 2. Next.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening. What's the call from?
Mine there the call from Maryland.
Yes, ma'am. What's that you want to take on the topic tonight, ma'am?
I see Dr. Iskandri is still talking.
Yeah, for turn the sets down small from steady listen, because it distract you. All right, go ahead. Who are you?
Mine there and the call from Maryland. I want to say thank you to Ms. Matilda and Dr. Iskandri. With this issue at hand, I think like even the layman for able to listen to the analysis, even the layman for able just put party, mina SLPP or mina APC down and just listen to the common sense of this thing where Dr. Iskandri and Matilda, I would say, just explain the naked truth or the naked, whatever you want to call them, of what's going on. Dr. Iskandri, I want to say thank you because just like you said, I think this is the dumbest thing Paolo did. But at the same time, you're able to educate me on technicality, you're able to educate me on the reality, you're able to educate me on the legal side of what went on. So I think we are Sierra Leone, and let's just shake off this party thing off of we, and then make we allow, if justice in Sierra Leone is right, more allow justice for take its course. But if justice, like where the other guy be there explain the reality where they go on a Salone versus justice, if justice is not taking place, then make the president use in sense of reality with the evidence system or whatever was presented to him and make the right, make the right decision and make the right call. It's about time we start putting Salone first and then more put party behind we. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Let me get the next caller. Good evening, caller. What name was the call from?
Hello, good evening. I call from London. My name is Jibril Kanu.
Hey, Mr. Kanu, what are you take on the topic?
Hello?
So nice.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. What are you take? Go ahead. Listen.
Yeah, my own contribution might be maybe out of topic. Now, plead our make to VOS. Dear, when I present as the way they come up on the show, some of we they take them as a role model. Dear, at 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, I buried Mr. Kutubu. And one lady, I think that lady happened to be a supporter of Lawyer Kaloko. I get it audio where Mr. Kutubu they exchange course, mami course and that lady. And that audio they go viral. So dear, anybody will go present them kind of show them they get for be a role model, not only for himself, for the beginner and the one they will watch them. So here, Mr. Kutubu, these are the plea specifically to you. You know, role model now to some of you. If that would do what a real and that you know,
the wrong thing we do that. The wrong thing. Anything for no. It inject something. We don't get anything for do with this. If you want to call me by Salone for no. They can't go to Salone for. You don't get nothing.
Let me just allow it on, sir.
Wrong thing I really do. Let me address Salone for.
Go ahead and finish your thoughts, sir. Mr. Kanu, are you still on the line? Okay, I still don't hang up. Look at the next caller. Okay, I still don't lost the call. Let me get it. Let me get one more because I know say yes now. This topic. Look at the next one. One more. Good evening, caller. Anyone say the call from, please?
Yeah, good evening. How are you, sir? Yeah, Cousin 12. I'm calling from Maryland.
Yeah, Mr. 12, what are you taking on the topic tonight, sir?
Yeah, I just want to ask the doctor over there. One thing I will tell him thank you for where he knows some of we don't learn little experience from him. But the question where I want to ask Anaina this, you feel say the people that were in Nigeria, America, not because they do stupid thing, not in the lead in Nigeria, because where you try for minimize the problem we Paolo Conteh don't put himself into, but you know they try for no say yes it's against the law for take weapon at the state house. You know why it not being take the weapon, it not be left at this first security post. Let's say, okay, now you as a doctor, now you've been there as a president, then somebody take that weapon there to you, now your office. How you go feel? It's just like somebody go visit you now your house. You don't know, say, you get weapon. They, by accident, you find weapon with them. Now your house. How you go feel? You don't go scared? You don't go scared? Some of we take gun training. Some of we study homeland security. We know the laws on for carry weapon in this country. We know the laws then. You see? So if Paolo Conteh don't take all the trainings in there, then it violates the training where the course where it take. You know what fee say that go lead her into jail? So if somebody not really stupid, if he say go do stupid thing, So sometimes if there was something that will be fear to people then. There will be fear. If you educate somebody, educate them with the right way. Tell somebody the right thing so that tomorrow they don't go do the mistake. Somebody else not go do the mistake.
All right. All right, thank you very much, Consuelo. We get the next caller. Good evening, caller. What name will say the call from, please? Good evening,
Hello?
caller. What name will say the call from?
Yeah, I just want to address Mr. Basida. It is actually when last coup d'etat take place in the world. Last year, coup d'etat take place in the world, in Africa. And I want to tell you, the last regime of SLPP was overthrown, and the coup was very, very unpopular. All institutions not be the work, but those guys kept on ruling, and that they don't make the country go 25 years back. So you, if you're not president, you will say you will let sit down with all the facts that they talk about. You will let sit down overthrow you. You say coup d'etat, they will go whatever. Now the people that suffer, not so Tiankaba suffer. The last SFPP regime was overthrown. So don't allow the investigation to take place. Don't come to here. Would they talk? We don't have facts about it. And I believe, say you as a presenter, if you don't move on to Commission of Inquiry or other issue, because all of them, with all the doctor where they talk about somebody talking from one region, and they talk about Mende, tribe, I feel say it needs to apologize to the Mende and the Southeast Australia. Because somebody talking, who doesn't have the fact, they talk say, I'm Mende man because of what? Mende are supporting APC, Mende they support that in party will be there. That's it for
I think say the next topic we for tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. So, Mr. Moderator, let me ask you a question. Let me ask this man this question. If I did listen to another Sierra Leonean brother they talk, and I identify that man as being of a certain tribe based on his accent, is that a crime?
Is that a crime at all?
If I've done something wrong, I want to apologize. But I don't think I have.
I think time don't love getting there. All right. Let me get the next caller, guys. Good evening, caller. What name was the call from, please? Good evening, caller. What name was the call from?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What name was the call from, please?
Now, Francis, I call from Minnesota.
Yeah, Mr. Francis. What you take on the topic tonight, sir?
I just the tell you thank you, but again, I want to go quick with my questions then. With the thing is that the panelists then plenty of them they say Paolo don't do wrong. But at the same time then they dig in mind again, then they justify in wrong way they don't do. How una go say the man don't do wrong, then you they justify and sometimes they gone, if they don't they use for keep an eye back, no. Not to you own duty than for the reason why for the carry the gun. Number two, we they talk about Paolo because plenty of una we see doing now una sabiam. If na be other person una not be sabi, all the defense are not for don they come. Now that na the whole thing. And number three, where Paolo be the getting gun, where it be the license, and not be read the Arms and Ammunition Act. Who say for carry gun, who say not for carry gun. Not be read all of that, and if you don't need a prominent position in that country, if you know all the incidents. And the other question where I want to ask or tell the panelists there, what is the prevail in America,
can I ask
Canada,
a quick question
or Europe?
to this caller,
What is
please?
prevail in Africa?
So
you now you get for what you own back. You get for what you own back. And the other thing where I want to say, Madam, you don't get anything for do with treating Paolo go do a care gun na state house. Paolo na in your decision when you make. So when people then they accuse Madam you for this, no. At the end of the day, na Paolo na in your decision they make for care gun. Na invite the inviter. Insecurity rests on state house. Not to info go defend himself yonder. Make it good. Now the second time or third time they go, nothing no happen. Why you carry gun at the thing is? So like where that man they be the talk, rule of law, that info take place now any side. The man don't wrong, he don't wrong. But I set example tomorrow, whether na SLPP president did it or na APC or na other, but nobody no go to gun.
We have more calls in the queue.
They are starting prescribed buildings and we know the go to gun in America has yes. The premise itself, you know they carry gun not to inside the building, around safe. So
we gotta move on.
I tell them plenty thank you. But now we left this. We defend this thing here because we sabi Paolo. Because Indy don't be minister. No, we forget about that. I follow
guys, we got to be fair to the callers though, because now 2 minutes we get in mind, 2 minutes not done, so we got for all in 2 minutes done. Because I know just cut them off, we get 2 minutes.
Yeah.
We get about 7 more callers, I believe. So Lord time for at least get them. Then we just the last 7 calls. So we can, I'm not saying they calls in the count too much. We're not going to take them all. So let's get the 7 that we can do closing. The other topic we will left on for the next next segment, because this one I believe I don't mean say we'll catch fire this way, but let me go to the next caller. Good evening, caller. What name the call from, please?
Hello.
Good evening, caller. What name? Yeah, what name the call from?
Well, I'm in Galanda, and I call from New Jersey.
Yeah, go ahead. What are you take on the topic tonight?
Well, I just want for response to few callers. Then, in the court of law, it's kind of an intent. You know, if somebody even commits a murder, it's the intent. And if Pablo, if America is there, if they find out say the intent, okay, the intent not for go do any harm, they're not going to find them guilty. If they find them guilty, the judge go get and let a crime, because it's all about the intent, okay, premeditate, all right? And then also, I kind of not feel sorry for them, because in no say if they deal with people then, where not they follow we're brutal, where not they follow it's like the constitution from where they take power. So why make them people and therefore for even call them, invite them, even trust them for even go there? So I not even understand. And the other caller will say, it's like the law. It's like BO and SLPP cabal, which law they don't follow, okay? Even though it's where, okay, so the oath for follow the constitution, which one they will don't follow from the parliament, okay? So I don't understand what they talk about the law. They know they follow the law. So and then it's like the last thing that one say where BO Bingo stop, President Koroma in convoy. Why not enough, it's like Trump, okay, for like treason. Therefore we don't do that. In intense work for cause, havoc.
So let me get the next caller, please. 2 minutes, guys. Let me try for them within 2 minutes. Good evening, caller. What name else did you call from, please?
Yeah, Emmanuel, I call from New Jersey.
Yeah, if you go turn the set to say listening from in the background, then you can go ahead, Emmanuel. 2 minutes, please.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, Emmanuel, I call from New Jersey. Yeah, this question for just Mr. You got a lot of material, a lot of the other Mr. Dr. Ali, Dr. Ali, like we say, Mendema, not all Mendema the SPP. Not all Mendema back the SPP like Marabu. The fact, check them out. Mendema the SPP, they will be like kind of Ukela, we left Ufila. Okay? So, Mina SPP, but I like kind of Ukela, but I like kind of Ukela steady. So when you talk about Mendema talk, Mendema they talk, but the problem is that I tell you is that me I need to defend Marabio. Anything you do, if you wrong, I will talk as you wrong. Now me want them for die go and be grief. Except people know nothing for do for me. I didn't America, I mean they pay me bill. So if you don't talk about Salone for let country change with the law, no one can get above the law. So the guy was just to talk about where SFPP do that, which law is where the SFPP. Like example, like the late take gun go na state house where Alex Kuma call so many times. Whether be the guy appointment, where they don't left as a former defense. It gets sense. So now that call they talk to SFPP they follow law this and I don't talk about party issue. I will talk about collect law order daily. Me Paolo Conteh, I first man the way I be one sala areas the way go straight and where call for the mission, where he take the mission. He put the politicians I say I go for where even he give that statement say I return from a country because this person say he can I know I let affect the Salone and they do this for the country. I was so glad he was that in it. I was so glad I said yes, these are the kind of man we need. You know? So long let them try by Salone you don't belong to may they not belong to now all better. All the tribes are against Salone. You are create whatever is it to he not to you and against Salone. So let them tribalism there. America.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. Let me get to the next caller. Good evening, caller. What name is the call from, please? Good evening, caller. What name is the call from, please? Till the name of the caller, then I don't come. I call it. I still don't have get two more. Then we can do the well. Good evening, caller. What name is the call from, please?
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah. What name is the call from?
All right, this is Adama, and I call from Maryland.
Yeah, Miss Adama. What name you take on the topic tonight, ma'am?
I've been listening to the conversation they want to be the guest in regards to Paolo Conteh in action we take towards go to the president. What Timmy just get to say is everybody in the panel knows for say Paolo in action is completely wrong. And to me, like me personally, it's 2 minutes. I'm just gonna rush up. When you enter inside State House, you get a main entrance to say policeman to pull you over. If Paolo actually do have good intention, if we don't tell the people from the front gate, say, hey, I get what Konisa de Motoka. This is for security reasons. What you now want me can do with this weapon? Make these people that are the main gate communicate before you even get into the entrance. Communicate with the people and say, hey, this man take a weapon inside Motoka. What you now we do with the weapon? But for let's take the weapon inside State House, and they don't know waiting because everybody get their own story. Some man say I go give, some man say now we the one start and I pull the weapon. But to me, the action was very wrong, and you need to go through the process, the necessary process through the court and everything what's in there for happen. But the other thing is, to me, the messages to me they say is it's a message to the government that the government is not safe. By right, the State House is not safe. By right, so you go inside State House, they totally need for checking at the main entrance. Check the person motor car, check the person, make the person candle, check out, make sure so that the car is safe for let the car go inside State House. So me, I just hope, and I listen to Dr. I don't know what's my name, said that the doctor guy we talk about the caller we call Namende. The words where he used, it was wrong. Because at the end of the day, some of we, now SFP, okay, we support SFP, but with people are not seeing it. Like, but that don't mean to say, anyway, but that don't mean to, I'm just, the cinema, in terms, the line we used, it was wrong. And
all right, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll be getting next caller. Good evening, caller. What name the call from, please?
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. What name the call from?
Hi, good evening. Hi, my name is Marilyn. I'm calling from Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, Miss Marilyn. So what's your own take on the topic tonight, ma'am?
Am I calling the voice of the program that's running on tonight? Hello?
Yeah. You're live, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling the program that's running right now. The reason why I'm calling out, as I'm listening to it, I just want to respond. I just want to respond the caller of Mr. Kanu, that the guy that responded, the one that attacked him. This is my first time of calling this program. I feel like you guys did respond the guy well, and you guys don't know the motive, the reason why the guy was calling. And I also feel like you guys don't set an example for some of us. We're young, and we are trying to build ourselves in this country because we want to go back home and do something. So as this program, while we're watching it, you guys are giving us an highlight to give us an idea so we can go back home and build our country and not to be scared to go back to Sierra Leone and build Sierra Leone. So I feel like the situation is not right, and the way you guys attack him, it wasn't right. You guys should have given him an open room so he can talk, the motive why he called, the reason why he called. And I'm not saying, I left Sierra Leone for a very long time, and I also feel like the judiciary of Sierra Leone, you guys, I don't think Sierra Leone is following it, and I also feel like the security in this situation do not do their job. If they do really do the job, I think Paolo or Uso, the victim in question will not have the motive to take this gun inside the White House, because since the beginning of the entrance of the gate, they should have investigated or shot him pretty good before he entered the system. So thank you, and I'm going to keep calling more.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the call. We'll deliberate on that at the end of the show. But thank you very much for calling. Look at the next caller. Good evening, caller. What name said? I think today the good thing that the woman don't take over today, which I'm happy about today.
Hello.
Good evening, caller. What name said? The call from, please.
Yes, Anemia Salone. I call from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Mr. Kalon, what are you taking on the topic tonight, sir?
Are we still on this Paolo Conteh issue, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Paolo Conteh, we all know say he do wrong. And then, you get some people that still where they defend Paolo Conteh behavior, where they say, now SLPP set them up. How SLPP go set them up? In which way? So, these are some of the questions that we are to ask. They say, when they invite Paolo Conteh na State House, it was a setup. A setup? So, if really na SLPP set up Paolo Conteh, well, that means Paolo Conteh are the most stupid human being we don't ever see in Sierra Leone. For say the party where they in governance right now will call you for set you up for make you come with gun at State House. Then he agree to that and bring on the gun. Well, that means Paolo Conteh it brings small. Secondly, when they talk about President Bio Naya, you see President Bio for intervene, made the release Paolo Conteh. Also, President Bio writes the Constitution of Sierra Leone, or not only for interpret them. You understand? May the law take its course. Now, American, where you cause problem or where you commit crime, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, now the law they intervene. You don't get nothing to do with the president. So whatever Paolo Conteh, whatever crime Paolo Conteh don't commit, may the law deal with them. It's about time we believe or we get confidence in institutions then, because we not believe in institutions. Where APC they in power, when the law they fight the cause, they say APC get the law. When SLPP come in governance, when the law they take its cause, they say SLPP courts. So when are we going to believe in our institutions? When? You see, this now we get problem with. This are some of the things they will get problem with. Let we allow the institutions them, let them function independently. Let we stop for the cast blame on our presidents where they in governance. Paolo Conteh, we all know say he do wrong. He wrong. Flat out. He left to him now, he look for good lawyers then, we're going to free him. Period. That's all.
Thank you very much, sir. And let me get the next caller. Good evening, caller. With name else I call from, please.
Yes. This man don't go off now because of the year still in the line.
No, that's just the feedback. You can just turn on the volume from side a little.
Yes, Mina Matia.
Right now. What name else I call from?
I call from Pennsylvania.
Go ahead, sir. 2 minutes.
Okay. We're touching the go on Sierra Leone. We know and we don't see exactly how the country done the go. This particular issue of Paolo in case, now, in way they repeating self again. Paolo, he accepts the office for make a serving country. I.e. another Sierra Leonean they talk about, say the man a stupid man. We get for stop for the insult each other. This man get all the right for contribute to a country. What you make them call him? They say because if he don't do something before, was similar to what he make them need him. So if the man like in country, you know, got no reason for afraid for serve in country. But this thing will happen so where then they say Paolo care gun go na state house. It don't make no sense. Because Paolo don't do another office day where he able to arrest Madabio. Madabio don't attack the press, he don't attack Ernest by Coma. This not been a 10 way Paolo before don't deal with murder if not intentional act this way than they accuse them for. But some of we will know what's in the happen at Sierra Leone. I just advise every Sierra Leone and say, murder, it repeats history again. The same thing where it do to Strasser, but that same strategy it use again for eliminate the people that win a threat. We always say Paolo na Momo in nephew. These are threats to the SLPP party. SLPP, they don't really destabilize Sierra Leone with them dirty politics. This same dirty politics, then take for kill fallible Sierra Leoneans. SLPP not the reason for kill Victor.
All right. We'll not get the next caller. We just take 2 more because then so we get too many callers, but we're not able because we don't pass the 2-hour mark. And the people that want for go. So let's take 2 more. They will call to closing. The next topic about the white paper we'll talk about next Friday, or maybe sometime during the week we'll tell for come with another topic. So yeah, if you want to join the topic again, guys, for the white paper, they hand over to the president and Mount will then accuse the APC or the Kuruma regime of joining for the next program. So I will take 2 more calls and I will be my panelists if I can get them closing because I don't say tonight to be there forever. Good evening, caller. What name outside the call from, please? So we want to apologize to the callers that are not going to be here for tonight. Please, would apologize to now because they work on time. And the police already said we said they run out of time. So, good evening, caller. What name outside the call from, please?
Yeah, this is Junior Kaba. They call from California.
Yeah, Mr. Kaba. What are you take on the program tonight, sir?
Yeah, actually, me first-time caller, long-time listener, and viewer.
Yes,
I want to say first of all, I appreciate what you do so. This program very good. About this Paolo in situation, I don't feel like I'm for my unfold. What you understand is many of we don't know exactly what you unfold in our state house. So it just left we all they throw your opinions them left and right, which is good for conversation's sake. But we get 2 questions we need to ask if we really want to know or determine who say, for end on this situation. Number 1, we need to know exactly the true story where you go on a state house. If we get detail of what happened, we don't hear all kinds of stories. Some people say he left the gun outside. Some people say he can't go inside. We only left with for think, okay, if he left on a door, the law allow for left hand or whatever for carry out, then you're right. Then also, if you take her inside, it's wrong. And some people say it's stupid for taking the gun there and all that. Stupidity alone is not a crime. Okay? So we need to determine which are the actual story. Then we get a better debate on this whole story. And two, waiting at the actual law them where we get a Salone, we cover, bearing arms, we give the legal rights for carry arms. If we get into clear answers in the debate will be clear cut. Then from there, we go now for think, okay, then get right for arrest them. That argument they now left with. Or they not get right for arrest them. We as Salonians they now get for take for long faith in justice if that's the case.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Let me get one more call, and that's it. We'll time for run this program tonight. So, good evening, caller. What name outside the call from, please?
From Australia.
Good evening, caller. What name outside the call from, please?
Concern from Australia.
Yeah, Mr. Concern, what are you going to take on the program tonight, sir?
The program, this particular Paolo case, is a complex case. And for looking at the caliber of force for this act, you're looking at the experience. I'm military, I don't be a minister of defense in the country. Everybody will actually say it for no better. The decision we take, that's very poor judgment, like almost they talk. The problem again, it exposed itself to a lot of investigations. Because we really look at this issue, and looking at the issue of the state house, which happened. Now it exposed itself in many ways. One and foremost, then therefore investigate the origin of the gun. Not only registering the gun, then get for trace whether this gun is by overseas, records for shows it by overseas in a gun shop, how it counts under the country, record for shows it gets a permit for a lift from any country for inside the Sierra Leone borders, and record will show back say if you can't at the Sierra Leone borders, you need for declare and every red point inside the gun pass for Canada for the register. So that's not the exposure. And me go pray God back, and make it not be say maybe likely back and say a state gun, maybe records show say the gun is a state gun, then get for investigate the people that we actually register the gun, maybe they record the gun on that big back door. A lot of investigations is involved here. Now God no more help on this. But maybe they look at this boat house issue, it go beyond that, how the gun actually originates. When did they do that kind of investigation? Yeah, any smart investigator, they can't to who side is weapon first come out, who side and buy them. Looking at the record, it's record for sure say it's done so side. So a lot of things can be exposed in this kind of thing. In the dilemma, me the only hope say the government go be very lenient looking at what Sierra Leone don't go through coups and counter coups and killing of people, make them take a very smart decision to put the country at peace. But a very wrong judgment on your side to be exposed itself to a lot of investigations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to apologize to the callers and more than call the WhatsApp group because we know most of them call it an internet fault. So we get issue with our line day. And I want to tell we call them thank you because I know the calls and still plenty. I get plenty people in the line, but again, all them people here, they come in on the time and we need for release them because they all get families that we never go to in the technical team. Don't tell me say the time's up. So Auntie Matilda, let's start with you. For you give your last word to family and we don't discuss and then the caller then say don't call in. So now that's it. I give you about 3 minutes for you put them all into one basket. Go ahead, ma'am.
Make I defer to somebody else. I'm still gathering my thoughts.
But to the money defy, well, I go to JT.
Hi, me, everything I say, Bill, it be courageous act for like call Paolo on board. And Paolo said courageous for himself, Bill, in calling. And I still believe say Bill for do the right thing for be magnanimous with Paolo. Even though some panelists then will say, especially Sister Matilda will say, let the law take in cause. Yes, under normal circumstances, we assume say the law for taking cause. But this not don't happen at Salone. Even when they come, they not do one meaningful reform. Even with the justice system, for law we believe, say the law they take in cause. If you want simple example, at the recent cases of appeals where APCB make, say today they not come it. And if they say they not get judges then for that case, why make we NRM be file an appeal, they're able for take them case and they and dealt with and quick. So well, let we pass this because we don't even need this side attraction right now. We need to focus on the virus. Let the president use him in magnanimity and let it solve and once and for all. I think a lot of people then go glad, especially for national cohesion. Thank you very much, and I'm so happy for being among in this particular debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kombi. It was a privilege to get you over here tonight. I know Auntie Janet today on the phone from UK, so I'll bring in Auntie Janet.
Yes, sir.
And your last word for Famulem tonight. Like put everything into one package for we in 3 minutes, ma'am.
You know, first of all, I want to start with the callers then, where they make this comment about Aliyu using tribalism. I think the statement where Aliyu make was a simple statement. We're not insulting. I mean, the woman, and Aliyu know that. You know. And if Aliyu asked the question or Ali made a statement for say, the caller and Mende person from the accent, and if it turns out that caller and Mende person, then Aliyu hasn't said anything wrong. You know, so I want to just say to the callers the way they call in, Aliyu hasn't done anything wrong at all. Yes, that caller turns around and says, we're not a Mende person. You know, and then Aliyu will say, oh, okay, I get you. I'm sorry. But anyway, no tribalism here. Let's move forward now. Let's hit the points now. So I want to go very quickly. To me, what happened at the State House, I think we say it shouldn't go back. If by waiting we get from reliable source, if that man they be declared in gone, that first post at the State House, if say I get going at this bag, they say oh pa go, he say no I get going, I want to keep my gun. Unless he's speaking, it shouldn't have gone that far. But again, something Ali said when makes a lot of sense. When you say Paolo acts stupidly, Ali is not saying Paolo is a stupid person. His conduct amounts to stupidity. Because when we look at his background, a person who don't be a defense minister, he don't be internal affairs minister, he knows the workings of State House, he knows the rules and everything. You know, so now that's Ali to say from that backdrop, we say he acted stupidly. To say he doesn't have the right to take it there, we're not going to question that right there based on the people getting power. So we go remove that idea of right here, whether if he has the right or the privilege, he doesn't. From within from where they all are. Let's now go straight to the one that the rumor mongers and within our social media. You know, this is the danger where we're gonna tell you. The people we expect a lot from. They bring out information they're not correct. And this is dangerous. You know, if you go on social media, there's so many things which you believe. But again, we want to keep on within the law. Honestly speaking, like Ali said, when you look at the conduct, you look at how they don't blow out of proportion. You know, how they get for how they reach this decision for charge this man with treason. It baffles me. It go baffle everybody. Even the person, a lay person, will not read law one day. You know, like I said earlier, you get forget the intent, you get forget the act. Okay, maybe the act of taking this gun to State House. Did he intend to hurt Mother Bill with this gun? It's something Paolo himself will have to answer to. But nothing to say, coming from the background from which it comes from, it could get mind, broad daylight, for take a gun to that place because he want to hurt Mother Bill. I don't think so. My understanding would be, it cannot go there, he done in my car, they want for what's in car, and look and say, you know what? If I leave it here and they open the car booth, wait for people in the car, they can't see this gun. I won't have any excuse. So, okay, to have an excuse, let me declare this. You know, to me, this is my own understanding. You know, and I truly hope, like where JT said, Mother Bill will do the right thing, set Paolo free, and let's move on with the issue where they're on the ground, protecting our people from coronavirus.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kutubu. I know say I know it's busy on the phone, so like you allow you for let's say give your last words to family, 3 minutes. Everything don't discuss tonight and call them. So if you put everything in one perspective, that would be nice. Over to you, sir.
I just wish everybody good night.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And now, Auntie Matilda, I know say you don't cover it, you don't get a thought now. So over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. So listen, I've been say one word and I will say that word there again. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Everybody need for respect the law, but at the same token, in parallel, everybody ought to be treated equally under the law. We have seen time and time again where we know for say in Sierra Leone, we have not come to the level where we can truly say, even though ignorance of the law is no excuse, people are treated equally under the law. Now, I cannot help but go back in memory. Usai, the current, I think he's Minister of Internal Affairs, correct me if I'm wrong,
Lima, Deputy.
Lawrence Lima was unduly arrested. And, with a lot of back and forth, finally he was released. All I am saying is that even though the evidence as we see them right now tell us that an infraction was committed, I don't know that the charges levy for that infraction weighs the infraction. I don't know for say if you put them na a balance scale, the wrong way the person do and the punishment so far where we the say the person go get, or then they think for make get, that if you put an at the scale go all up like this. I think say the scale go balance small. And what me they say is we want to forget a Sierra Leone who say where somebody do something, where you care and go to the court of law, where you care and go to the police, where you care and go within with justice system, make the scale all up so. Make the act or the infraction or the wrong way the person do and the impending punishment or punishment make a balance. Now, people then don't speculate a lot about this case. People then don't make a lot of assumptions about this case. People then don't come to their own conclusion, then don't be the judge, then don't be the jury, then don't be the solicitor, then don't be the ultimate in this case. But there is no gag order on the case. If there was a gag order on the case, then I could see why pertinent information are not released so that people can form an analytic opinion, a sensible opinion, form a comprehensive opinion about the issue. So here is what I can maybe appeal to the judicial bodies involved, that since there hasn't been a gag order on the case, please can you release the detail of this litigation? Can you release the detail of these charges so that make we self read them and understand them for waiting it be, so that make we get a good history of why make at this point there are charges of treason and whatnot on this person. There are learned people out here that can formulate opinion, just like where Dr. Iskan they come, it teach we certain things then. Just like where Madam Janet come, it teach we certain things them, then take we through the knowledge base of, judicial process of then kind matter they have, so the pros and cons, because we are not lettered in these things. So they then teach we. So if the evidence come out, if the thing that way then rights come out for the public, for make the public see, I think say then they go a long way in cutting a lot of these judgments out there, a lot of these suppositions and assumptions out there, because then they go give somebody even like me for read them letter for letter, for interpret them in layman's term, and also ask for the legal interpretation, because more not forget, when we deal with matters of law, there is the layman understanding and there is the legal understanding, when are two different things. But as I close, me people them, I will be remiss if I not say, the world is going through a real pandemic. The world is going through a real pandemic. Let us not take it for granted. Let us not play with this issue. Please, please, please. I don't make too any time where I get chance at the camera, they make video about this thing. Make we not take this thing for granted. Make we not feel say because we think say not reach na Salone it. No mean say not the inside Salone. No mean say Salone go escape. Yes, we are all praying and we are all faith believing people. And we are praying that even if it enters there, that the damage or the carnage will be small. But make we do everything in our power to be prepared, for sensitize ourselves. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. To the Republic and to the President, dear beg, just give me those few seconds. Una for set precedents them, and una not they set precedents them. Una they make public gatherings them. Una they make public listen. This thing is not a joke, and if you think it's not a joke, you have to be the role model. I don't care what prayers you have to say. Say it on the TV screen. Say it on a teleconference. You do not need to be in one room. That many people no need for be in one room. Please, this thing not a joke. It don't kill people and say it don't kill people and say so man, the entire family don't wipe out in a certain country. Please. I'm begging us all. I am pleading to us all. Let us do what we can. Please. And I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Dr. Iskandi, I will give the last word, sir. And everything on deliberate on tonight, and the callers and see if you could put everything together for we. So thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. The first thing I want to say is Sierra Leone is 59 years old for independence, or 60 years old. And we need to put a stop to tribal politics. Some of the people that we don't come online today, one person say, Mina Mendeman, but I support Yunkela. Or another person say something else different. Well, we'll not get none of me, Mafoki chief don people then come, no any of me, Waterloo people then come, we can talk about cassava bread and fried fish. And we expertise pan and continually. Neither will not get any of me people left for Bonkulenke for camp. But here's what I'm saying. We need to have a Sierra Leone where our political affiliation is not based on which tribe we come from, but is based on our nationalism, our joint nationalism. We all not to Minde, we all not to Timni, we all not to Limba and all the other tribes, but we all not Sierra Leonean.
Yes.
And when we start thinking in that big sphere of we as Sierra Leoneans, which is what the Ghanaians did, and that's why Ghana is ahead. Ghana man will tell you, say, if you ask and say, what tribe are you? They go just tell you, say, I'm Ghanaian, but I speak Fanti, or I speak Twi, but they go never tell you, say, I am of this tribe. We need to end that. Secondly, we need to inculcate from the beginning in class 1. Now for them begin teach we picking them what will national anthem mean. I will exalt the realm of the free, great is the love we have for thee being Sierra Leone. We need to begin teach we picking them from small that their allegiance is not to the tribe they come from, but rather to the country they come from. Because when you look in their passport, and I do happen to have my passport here, it doesn't mention my tribe. It says Sierra Leonean.
Yes.
And anyone that has seen a picture of my office, as soon as you my office, and I have clients from all over the world, but when they walk into my office, the first thing they see on the wall is a green, white, and blue flag. That's what I stand by and what I stand for. Now, I believe that every person in Sierra Leone that does not have a criminal record should have a right to have a weapon a gun in their house, registered, of course, not to be taken out into the streets, for the protection of them and their family. When I was working at the special court as one of the prosecutors for the war crime tribunal, I had a friend that lived in an area called Babadoli. One evening, about 10 o'clock, some guys walked into his house. By the time he got out of his bedroom, in watchman, they don't tie him, strip him naked. By the time when they come out, they don't point corner in face, and he wept and strip him naked right before his face. Now they raping wife, right before his face. Now, if someone were to want to try to do that to my wife, I should at least have a government that will give me the right to dispatch that person to go see Jesus Christ quickly. I should be able to have that right. I should not have to go down on my knees and beg someone not to rape my wife or hurt my children or the ones that I love because I do not have a way to fight back. Now, we all agree. We must never forget the issues, the reasons why Sierra Leone went to war. I was a prosecutor at the special court, and I read the all the documentation that is necessary for anyone to enlighten themselves about why Sierra Leone went to war. Let me tell you something. One of the reasons why Sierra Leone went to war was the arbitrary arrest and detention of people without probable cause. What is going on in Sierra Leone now? I spoke against it under the APC government. I'm speaking against it under this government. Is that anybody can come into you and say, you know, you owe me 50,000 euro, which is about $5. No, yes, it's about $5. You owe me 50,000 euros, and they go call police, and they give 10,000 euros. And they can take you now. Can you go now? Police station, they hold you there, they lock you up. These are the kinds of things that are going on. These are the kinds of things that Brother Conteh was talking about. It's the reality on the ground. It's the same thing Sister Matilda Cole was talking about. We do not have a society where we have respect for the law. Anybody where they're in power, they take advantage of people. So then when I was looking at some stuff, I see something where somebody write a video where somebody sent to me. But waiting Paolo Conteh do to Ram when Paolo Conteh was in power. Okay, I wasn't aware of it when Paolo Conteh was in power, that he had done that thing to that person. But just because he had done that to that person, no means say therefore treat him any different. I think we all know. Say there was a time when me, Ali Iskandri, go home on vacation. I went into the courts and found a bigamy trial going on with Ali Kaba and against Diana Konomani. All I did was send a Facebook message that was basically commentating on what was going on in court. The next thing I knew, I was in lockup. Because I said, the way you are treating Ali Kaba is wrong. You have to understand that Ali Kaba was one of the people, the brains behind the IUF war. You understand? And they went to war just because of this situation. Many of us need to stand up for justice. Many of us need to stand up for what is right. Many of us need to stand up regardless of what that means to our personal well-being. I stand that gap. I live in the Northern California area, San Jose, Stockton, Sacramento. For every 10 Sierra Leoneans, 7 of them are Mende. Who do you think is their lawyer? I am. When they call me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to help them, guess who gets up out of his bed? I do. So when somebody comes up and tells me, oh, you're not tribalist just because I mentioned, say, that person did by accent, na Mende person, you know, and somebody else had the audacity for to make I apologize. No. That's not the kind of man I am. I tell you straight, like I want you to tell me straight. Salih Allah Muhammad. It was wonderful coming in here tonight. And it was even more wonderful to see how many telephone calls were coming in. Just speaks,
we thank you so very much.
Yeah, it just speaks to the fact that you guys have a wonderful thing going. At least you were able to keep me sitting down in one place for 3 hours. That's almost like impossible.
Thank you very much, Candy. It was a pleasure having you here tonight, and I want to thank all my panelists them tonight, and we callers and viewers them tonight, and the one again for watch the program in the future. Again, we Salone, one Salone we get. We opinion all different, party them all different. By the end of the day, we all voice them important. This matter, as we all don't say, we hope say the court system will go through the legal process. No matter we opinion, we want the law itself taking course, because at the end of the day, we all advocate for a better law in our Salone. So we all go there, then we all honor the same law equally. So we, as much as we put an lobby, express opinion and lobby talk, because sometimes we do and for lobby just communicate between ourselves, lobby see with a different opinion. But at the end of the day, we hope for a better justice in the courts. If the man wrong, if they able to prove I'm guilty, saying that's what for do, made a law taking course. But if not, so that's the man that ever do, made a law again taking course and made it sound. But at the end of the day, we only pray for a better Salone, and we want follow we move forward. We all will be treated under the same law, the same way. I tell now, thank you for joining me tonight. May God bless you all. Let God bless you, lead them all back home. And let God make sure that Salone will be one of the best countries in the world of envy of every other African country. Thank you all. God bless you all and stay blessed. And again, by God in power, no Salone person, home and abroad. We are all, like I said, I'll turn the pastor tonight, be covered by the blood of Jesus away from Corona. Stay blessed, and we'll see you guys again next week. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night, Ali.